Let me do that again because I forgot to turn my microphone on. Guys, it's me, Carrie from Stretch She. We're going to start class at 9 o'clock, which is in 9 minutes. So just go ahead and fast forward this to the 9 minute mark or so if you're watching this recorded. Okay, I'll see you guys really soon. heavy. Hi guys, it's Carrie from Stretch Chi. It's nice to see you. I'm so glad you guys are here. I am getting notifications that my streaming is not excellent. So I have to apologize in advance if you guys are a little bit behind or if it gets a little pixelated or gets broken up. If I do get kicked off of this internet, basically what I'll do is just reset the whole thing and start over. So if we get kicked off, just hang tight for about 5 minutes and then just go right back to my YouTube channel. It'll be a different link, but I should be back on. Okay, so fingers crossed, we're all good. Anybody who's watching, be sure to say hi, check in. If you chime in after the fact and you're watching like the playback, just go ahead and fast forward because you can always go back and do those stretches again, but it's kind of fun to do it live, and then you can check in and write things in the chat based off of like what you need or what you want to do specifically in, for this day. All right, so well, good morning, my friends. Time to stretch, right? Boy, 9 a.m. I would say that it comes early, but it doesn't. I was up so early this morning, and after 8 hours of sleep, I am loving this quarantine, I have to say. I know that a lot of people are, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of uncertainty, but I think we can really spend this time to do a lot of self-care, to nurture yourself in the best way, and to really do some inner soul searching. So for those of you who haven't been to my channel yet, make sure that you subscribe. You just click that little button in the corner over there that looks like a play button. Click that button, and then also the little bell icon will give you notifications every time I post a video. So then you won't miss live class, which is kind of cool. But you don't have to do that. But subscribing is really important, mainly because I need a certain amount of followers to actually make money on YouTube. So if you want to support me, the best way, number one, that you can do that is to subscribe. Okay, of course, liking and commenting and sharing is also helpful, but that's like number one. Do that. Even if you don't care, just subscribe, right? The other thing that I want to talk to you guys about really quick is that I've started my Life Renovations course on YouTube on my Stretch Chi channel. Life Renovations is a 6-month course. Each week has a focus, and during that focus we have a lesson, guided journaling, stretches that go specifically for that lesson, for opening up your body in very specific ways, a meditation, and also a diet challenge for every week. So this week is kind of important. It's all about awareness. So during our stretching this week, we're going to really focus on being aware of what our body's feeling, like what you're actually feeling in your muscles, and be very present with your body. So we'll focus on that today. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Just write it in the chat. Sound good? All right, friends. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to start off with a stretch for the front of your shoulders here. This opens up your chest, and it seems like it's a very important thing for us. Oh, good. My stream health just went up to excellent, so we should be good. Let's hope, right? Okay, so from here, you're going to come into a crab walk position. Bring your hands behind you, and then just curl your shoulders in towards your body, and use your arms to push you open. You can just curl back and forth. Now, if this is tough on your wrists, you could turn so that your hands face the other way, and that would be totally fine. What you want to make sure in this one, one of the big things that I see people do that takes away from the stretch is they bend their elbows. There's an exercise that's out in the world where people bend their elbows, and it's like a tricep strength. I don't want you to do that. I want you to actually move from your shoulder joint. So watch me from this angle. If you curl in, your shoulders actually curl in. It's like everything's collapsing in towards your heart. And then you use your arms to push. And as you push your chest, you push your sternum up towards the ceiling, then your shoulders open up. And you can even stretch your neck as you come through. So you come down for strength, and then you push up for your stretch. And it's kind of lovely. You should feel this in the front of your shoulders. It'll go like right through here, maybe in your forearms. If you feel this in your back at all, like you would feel it like through here or maybe even up here, then go ahead and stop doing that stretch, and we'll come back to it in a little bit. So you just open for stretch, Then close it up for your strength. Now, if you really want to go a little deeper into the stretch, you can come up into a tabletop position. Or even, if you really want to challenge yourself, into the full table. Okay? I don't even know what you would call that. I guess it's not really a table. It's kind of like a reverse plank. So you could do that as well. But that's up to you. It just depends on like how deep you want to get into the stretch. Now we're going to work on the back of your shoulders and your neck. This gets into your trapezius. Now what you'll do is you'll come down onto all fours. Bring your elbows close to your knees and your hands are right in front of your face. Like my wrists are right under my nose. Then you're going to pull with your arms towards your knees. So it's like you're trying to pull your whole body forward. When you get to the point where your nose is like over your fingertips, then your feet are going to want to pop up. And that's as far as you go. So you pull forward until your feet pop up. And then you just shift your weight back, but keep pulling with your arms so that you can sit back. Now my elbows are staying connected to the ground. And I'm going to tuck my chin. And this gives you a stretch through the back of your shoulders and your neck. You use your arms to pull you forward. And then keep pulling with your arms as you sit back. Boy, this is a good one today. Pull forward for strength and back for your stretch. Now we're aiming for about 5 or 6 of these, and then we'll come back to it later. Holy cow, I needed this. I'll tell you guys, this muscle group, your trapezius, that goes from your neck and from the top of your head here down to the outside of your shoulders, is where we hold a lot of tension when we feel anxious. Now, anxiety is real right now, right? Like even just going to the grocery store is one of those things where you're like, I don't know what's happening. Like everything's changing. Like even trying to go to the grocery store is like, where do I just stand on this thing now? I don't know what that means, right? So there's a little bit of anxiety to it. Not to mention the fact that like our lives are basically changing every day. And so there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety. So by doing that stretch, you can start to release that tension that's kind of like finding itself, okay? So keep that stretch in your back pocket, all right? Okay, the next stretch we're going to do is for the back of your shoulders. Now, you guys might know this one already, where you hold your elbow and push open and close. If you know that one and you want to do it, go ahead. But I'm going to show you a different one that I think you'll really like. You come into a lunge. It's kind of like a square lunge. I'm going to put my left leg in front, my right leg behind, and then take your right arm like you're pulling a train whistle. So it's still like a 90 degrees. See how everything's like a 90-degree angle? You should feel really boxy for this stretch. Then you're going to twist at your torso and rest your elbow on your knee. If you can't feel that, just do this stretch where you pull across, okay? Or if you can't get into that position. Then take your left arm and grab your wrist on top, and you're going to resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. When you let your left arm win, you're going to pull your hand towards your hip. So your forearm here is going right along where your IT band is, right on the outside of your leg. And then when you open up, this is strength training. Now notice that all the rotation here is happening from my shoulder. I'm not actually letting my elbow straighten at all. I'm keeping it bent. And you just go back and forth. Opening like this is strength training and closing is stretch. Now I feel this stretch in the outside of my shoulder right here. Let me show you from this side. It's pretty lovely. All right, now let's switch to the other side. Again, if you're like, I don't want to be on my knees, I don't know if I want to do this, then just bring one arm up, grab your elbow, resist both arms apart, and open and close. Okay, this time it'll be on your opposite arm, your left arm. If we're, usually I mirror, but I forgot this time, so just sorry, you guys have figured it out on your own. So your right leg in the front, your left leg behind, and now you're gonna bring your left arm up, bend your elbow at 90 degrees, take it and rest it on your right leg. Grab your wrist with your other hand. Resist like you're trying to pull them apart. take your right hand, and it's like a gate. So just like close the gate, and you're pulling your hand towards your hip. So notice again, my arm is rotating here. You should feel this in the outside of your shoulder, right through here. And you just go back and forth. From the other side, it looks like this. I'm closing the gate, and then I open the gate. Back and forth, just like that. It's a really nice stretch through the back of your shoulder, maybe into your like your side body, right through here, but it's mainly right in this area or like here, okay? If you don't feel that, it's okay. If it's too intense, just go into the smaller stretch, and or whichever one you like better. I mean, some people feel like they get a deeper stretch like this than they do in the lunge, but I really do like that lunge stretch. All right, the next stretch we're going to do is for your chest. This one's a push-up. So we're going to go into a plank position. I'm mentally preparing myself for this. I hate push-ups. You think it's like, we all have one weakness, and this is definitely mine. So we're going to go into a wide arm plank position on our knees. You can also do this against the wall if you'd like. Elbows wide. Very slowly drop down until you feel like your core won't hold you, and then push back up. So as soon as you feel your core want to drop, push yourself back up. Really wide with your arms. You should feel this across the front of your shoulders. Kind of like in your biceps and your pecs. If you feel it in your back, you can go ahead and stop. Good. If we're aiming for like 5 or 6, remember, because we're going to revisit these later. This should be a stretch right across the front here. Cool? Whew. That always kicks my butt. So what it does. All right, we're going to go back to the front of your shoulders here. So you can come back into your catwalk position. Rotate your shoulders in for strength, and then push with your arms open for your stretch. Bring your head back if it feels comfortable, but make sure that you can always pull it back. Curl into a ball, and then open up so that the ball reverses. So you go concave and convex. Those are big words. You know what it means. If you want to bring your hips up, this would be a good time to try that, as long as it feels good, and as long as you feel like you can support yourself, okay? Oh, so down for strength, and up for your stretch. Let's do one more. Oh, so good. Okay, now we're going to flip over and work on our trapezius again. So you're going to go onto all fours. Bring your elbows down in front of you. Your thumbs should be like pointing towards each other. Your forearms are parallel to each other. So I always think of like my whole arm reaching up through my middle finger, and that being a straight line. And then those two lines are parallel to each other. So you've got two mostly parallel arms. That's what we're hoping for. Now, if you're really tight through your shoulders, it might look more like this. And the best way to adjust that is to let your arms be pretty wide. That's okay. And then as you get a little bit more flexible, you can bring your arms closer together like this. All right? Okay, so let's come back to the floor. Find your parallel arms in the way that feels the best to you. Use your arms to pull you forward. And then use your lower body. Just shift your weight back to your legs and pull yourself back. Oh, good. Pull forward, and then use your lower body to pull you back. You're fighting with your arms. So if my arms took over this force, it would pull me back forward. You'll feel your feet want to come up, and that's when your cue is to move back again. Whew. Forward for strength, and back for stretch. Very good, you guys. Now, I want to throw in one extra thing since we're in this position. This is one of my mentor, Steve Sierra, of the Ki-Hara world. Steve is like a genius at creating new exercises, and he brought this one that's for shoulder stability and for building endurance through your shoulders. It's kind of amazing. So what you're going to do is stay in this position, make fists. And then you just rock back and keep your arms bent at 90 degrees. Look up in front of you so you get a little bit of extension in your spine. So you can see I'm kind of curved here. Then what you do is you pump your hands in and out. So it looks like this. It's kind of amazing and kind of ridiculous. You're going to feel your shoulder blades like screaming at you. If it's really painful, don't do it, of course, but you want to do this as many times as you can to build endurance. The first time you try this, it's going to be kind of hard. So don't do too many. After you do this a few times, it won't be so bad. Then, when you feel like you're tired, flip your hands so that your pinkies are facing each other, and you're going to do the same motion back and forth until you get tired. And then you're going to rotate the other way. Oh, my shoulders. Okay, bring your thumbs together. This is probably the hardest one for most people. And from here, you're going to go in and out the same way with your thumbs facing each other. Oh, boy. Now, after you've done a few of those, let's go back and do our same shoulder stretch. It's going to feel a little different. So bring your elbows close to your knees. Pull with your arms towards your legs. And then just lean back and tuck your chin. And pull yourself back up. I don't know about you guys, but my shoulders are burning. Whew. Okay. Just a couple like that is perfectly fine. Oh, I feel like a gorilla arms. My arms are way longer. I don't think they reached the floor before. Now all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. Good job. Arms. All right, now let's go back into the outside of our shoulder here. Now this time, let's go ahead and do this one on the floor instead of going up into our big lunge, although you're welcome to do that one again if you want. So mirroring, you can grab your right arm with your left hand and resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. Push open for strength to the right and pull across for your stretch to the left. So open for strength and close for stretch. You should feel this in the back of your shoulder, kind of like through here. It might just feel really tired after all that shoulder work we did, so do what feels right to you, okay? Open for strength and close for stretch. Whew. Really good work. All right, and let's try the other side. Oh, feels so good. Okay, so now bring your left arm up, grab the outside of your shoulder or your elbow with your other hand and try to pull both arms apart. Push open this time towards the left and then pull across to the right. Open for strength and close for stretch. And again, you should feel this in the outside of your left shoulder, right through here. Open for strength and close for stretch. Oh, my arms feel like heaven. I feel like we could almost be done with class now. I'm like toast. I'm hungry. This life. Okay, so now let's work on our push-up. That's probably why my body's like, why don't you just eat something instead of doing push-ups? Because I hate that. All right, so make sure that you have wide arms. So when I do this push-up, my arms are out to the side like this. You can go into a plank position on your knees. You could go on your feet if you feel like you really want to challenge yourself, or you can do this on the wall if it's hard for you to be in the plank position, or if your wrists hurt, you have that option as well. Or just skip this stretch altogether. It's not that important, You take care of yourself in the way that your body wants to be taken care of. So here we go. Okay. In a plank position, elbows wide, drop down for your stretch, and up for strength. We're going to do 5 or 6. Oh, your stretches as you come down towards the floor. And remember, only go as far as your body wants to go. All right. I did it. I'm done with that. I don't want to do it anymore. All right, we're going to move on to a stretch for our legs. So let's give our arms a little bit of a break, although they're going to work because they have to give us resistance, right? That was intense. So let's take these legs a little easy today. Take a second, drink some water, very important, and then into a butterfly position. Now, to give you guys a little bit of rest, let me tell you something that I think is really important, and I wanted to bring to your attention. I've been watching a channel on YouTube called MedCram. It's MEDCRAM, like medical, and when you cram for a test. And there's this amazing doctor on there who is breaking down all sorts of information about the virus that's going around. So if you are really interested in getting really good scientific information, especially, he's been talking a lot about how to build up your immune system. And there was a video yesterday that I thought was really fascinating about the research behind Finnish baths. He was wondering why people in Finland or even in Japan are not dying so much from this virus. It's very fascinating. So he goes into some of the research behind hypothermia, which is hyperthermia, where you're inducing a fever by taking a hot bath. It's kind of amazing. I mean, it's something so easy for us to do. So check it out, you guys. It's called MedCram. I really like it. I think it's kind of amazing. His research is good, and he's very just factual about everything that's going on. Okay, so put your elbows on your knees, and you're going to squeeze in for strength, and then open for your stretch. Your legs are fighting the whole time, so you should feel your inner thighs engaging. And as you go into the stretch, you'll feel the stretch there in your inner thighs. When you come up, you might feel your back stretch out. That's kind of lovely. And just go back and forth. So down for stretch, up for strength, and back and forth. I was just noticing that the cats are all asleep. You guys are so used to seeing the cats. Apparently the 11 o'clock class is the one where the cats are very active. 9 o'clock class is nap time. So you should feel the stretch now in your inner thighs. Let's do one more and then we'll move on. All right, we're going to go into a stretch for our lateral hamstring. Now, we usually do this on our backs, but I want to show you guys how you can do this sitting against the wall. So I'm just going to lean back. And I put my upper back against the wall, and I'm sitting a little bit away from the wall, maybe about 6 or 7 inches away from the wall. So I'm kind of leaning on the wall. Then bring your right leg up and grab your foot with your left hand. So you reach over your shin and grab the outside of your foot. Then you're going to internally rotate. So you're going to turn your heel this way and your knee this way. That all happens from your hip joint. Then you'll kick down towards your hips for strength and pull up for your stretch. You can also use a strap for this. And if you'd rather do it laying on the floor, you can. It's just kind of nice to do it this way because you really get your hips solid on the floor. So you can't manipulate your hips. Sometimes I see this in class where people on their backs will actually rotate their entire pelvis. So they're not actually stretching out this lateral hamstring, which is way out here. They're actually stretching their central hamstring, but they're all twisted like this. So you want to make sure that your hip bones are really sitting on the ground. And then you can stretch diagonally back and forth. It's kind of nice too because it gives your back a little bit of a break. I feel like my arms don't have to work so hard. I like it. Okay, let's switch sides. So you can bring your right leg out, bring your left leg in the front, grab with your right hand. So you go over your shin and grab the outside of your foot. And then kick down for strength and pull up for stretch. I just realized I always mirror the arms, so I'm really comfortable with that, but I don't do mirroring for the legs. So this is my left leg, but in the video it probably looks like your right leg. It's okay. Do which side you want. It's your body. It's your life, right? Do what you want. Oh, up for stretch and down for strength. Keeping your hips on the ground, and you should feel this in the outer part of your hamstring right here. Should be good. If it doesn't feel good there, then don't do it. And if you need a rope or something, that's okay. You can use a rope, you can use a towel even. I just keep a couple towels close by so that I can grab like this, just a little bit more distance. Sometimes feels good. So you have that option too. Nice. Okay, now we're going to do a quad stretch. Our past couple classes, we've done our quad stretch on the wall, and we've done our quad pump, but I want to show you guys a little bit of a different version. This stretch stretches out a part of your quadriceps, and this is controversial. Some people don't really think this is a quad muscle, but I do, so I'm going to go with it. It's called your sartorius muscle, and it connects up here at your hip, and it comes across your body here, and joins in at the front of your knee down here, so it kind of goes across. Now to stretch that, we have to pull your knee away from your hip, right? So the motion here, you're going to lay on your back to do this, but let me show you what it looks like. You go out to the side with your leg, and you're going to turn in like this. So your knee is actually going to come in close to your other knee, but you'll be turned in with your upper leg, okay? So it goes open and close. It's an internal rotation when we go to the stretch, and strength training is external rotation. So come down on your back. I like to be on my elbows in the stretch, but you can lay flat if that feels good to you. Bring your leg off your mat about 45 degrees. This is my left leg. Take your right leg and hook it over top. So my ankle is, or my heel is actually pushing against my knee. Then I'm going to resist like I'm trying to pull them both apart. I'm going to try to pull my knee straight down that way. So it's coming in and down. And as I do that, I want to keep my hips down on the floor. You might not go very far in this one. That's okay. Just go back and forth in the range that feels good to you. So you're pulling down. Let your foot rotate with you. Remember that the muscle you're using is here in your leg, and so you want to push up from here. It's tricky because if you push your heel into the floor, it's going to engage your hamstring, so you'll feel that instead. So if you feel your hamstring on the inside here, it's possible that it's because you're trying to push your foot into the floor. So take the weight off your foot, almost like you could have your leg in the air, but don't. And then pull towards the mat, keeping your hips pretty grounded. You should feel that across the top here. So up for strength and down for stretch. And again, if you want to lay flat, you're more than welcome to, especially if your neck's tired or if your arms are tired in this position. Just make sure that you don't rotate too much. Sometimes people like to turn over like this. The goal is not to get your knee to the ground. The goal is to keep your hips on the ground. Got it? Okay, so let's do the other side. So bring your right leg off the mat, about 45 degrees. Take your left leg and hook it on top of your knee. And you're going to resist like you're trying to pull both of them apart. Then with your left leg, overtake the force of your right leg and pull straight down to the mat, but think about it going directly in front of you. And then up for strength and down for stretch. So all of this is rotating your hip joint. You should feel it in the top of your hip, kind of maybe the outside, it'll feel a little IT bandish, maybe across the front of your hip. If you feel it all the way into your knee, that's okay, but that's where you stop. Don't go any further than that. And then just double check to make sure you're not pushing your leg into the ground. If you want to bring your head down, you can. You just have to pay a little more attention to make sure that you're not rotating your hips off the mat, but keeping yourself pretty square. You'll feel your sacrum the whole time you're stretching. All right. Good work, friends. Okay, so let's come back to the wall, and we're going to work on a different hamstring group. So we did lateral hamstring before, where we crossed over our body like this. Now we're going to do medial hamstring. We're going to open up to the side, okay? So what you'll do is grab your heel with your right hand. I'm sitting with my upper back against the wall, and my hips are pretty far away from the wall. So it's almost like you're sitting in a reclining chair, or like, you know those beach chairs that like recline back just a little bit? You kind of want to feel like you're reclined a little. Grab your heel with your right hand, kick down for strength, and then pull up for your stretch. And as you pull up, you're pulling in a diagonal, so you should feel this on your inner thigh. So you kick down for strength and up for stretch. Now, if you want, you can bend this knee. It doesn't have to be straight. You just do what feels good to you. Just make sure you don't feel like you're going to fall over. You just go as far as you want. Now, notice that I'm not straightening my leg out all the way, because then if I straighten my leg out, I wouldn't be resisting anymore. And resistance is pretty important, right? Resistance stretching, we always move, we always resist, and of course, don't do it if it doesn't feel good. That's the big rule. No pain equals no pain. It's the truth, especially in stretching. All right, we'll do one more here, and then we'll move to the next side. Okay, so bring your left leg in, grab your heel with your left hand, my thumb's on the bottom. You're going to kick down for strength, engaging that hamstring. Keep the hamstring engaged, and then use your arm to pull you up towards the wall. And just go back and forth. You'll feel this on the inner part of your hamstring. And if you don't feel that, it's okay. You can just skip this stretch. We're going to come back to it. So down for strength and up for stretch. Your knee's out at about a 45-degree angle, but you can decide whether you want that angle to be 40 degrees or 50 degrees. It doesn't have to be exactly 45. It could be a little closer to your body if that feels good. It could be a little further out if that's what you need. But you'll notice that one angle will feel really good, and you should probably stick in that one. Play around with it and see what's the best for you. All right. Okay, so we did this whole group of leg stretches. So let's kind of loop back again and do some cleanup, or that was like kind of our cleanup round. But let's go ahead and go back and see if we can get some more gains, or see if we can unlock some things that were locked up before. So bring your feet together. We're going to go back into our butterfly stretch. Your elbows on your knees. Push in for strength, and then open up for your stretch. You should feel your groin muscles kind of in your inner thighs. And you just go back and forth, up for strength and down for stretch. Do as many of these as you want so that you feel like you're getting the gains that you need. You'll get to a certain point where your body's just like, that's enough, I don't need to do any more of those. Just listen to your body. Be very aware of what it's telling you. Up for strength and down for stretch. I think I did one more. Well, yeah, that was a good one. Okay, now, when you're ready, come back to the wall, and we're going to do our lateral hamstring stretch. So you'll bring your right leg in, reach over your leg, and grab the outside of your foot with your left hand. Turn your leg internal so that your heel comes out to the right and your knee goes into the left. Kick down for strength to activate the outside hamstring, and pull up and across for your stretch. So down for strength and up for stretch. Down for strength and up for stretch. And again, you should feel this along the outside of your hamstring here. Hopefully it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, move in smaller ranges of motion or just skip it. It's okay. Just do what your body wants, right? And listen, pay attention to exactly what you feel. Really put yourself in your body right now. And when you're ready to switch sides, go for it. Bring your left leg up. Your right arm will come over across. Your knee is going to turn in towards your elbow. Kick your heel down to the left this time and pull up over your right shoulder. Down for strength and up for stretch. And take a second to listen to what your body's saying. If it says to stop at a certain point, make sure that you only work in that range of motion. If it says that this stretch feels really good, then keep doing it. If it says it doesn't feel good, then don't. Where do you feel this stretch? What does it feel like? It should be on the outside here. Does it feel different than the other side? What do you think? What do you got? Whew. All right, I think maybe one more. Awesome, and let's go back to our quad stretch. So lay on your back. Bring your left leg off the mat. Your right leg comes across so that your heel hooks into your knee, and then resist like you're trying to pull both of them apart. Use your top leg to pull you down into the stretch, and use your bottom leg, your left leg here, to push you back up. And as you're pushing up, it's kind of diagonal out to the left, and you're pulling down, straight down, but it's kind of like a pull in to the right and down. You want to think about trying to pull your knee as far away from this hip joint as you can. So there's a feeling of going out this way. There's going to be a little bit of traction in that muscle. Pay attention to what you feel. And then come back up. And each time you do it, put yourself into the awareness of what your body is telling you. And then come back out of it. Okay? Each time. It's very meditative. It doesn't seem like it. But you're putting yourself in the present moment, and you're putting yourself in your body in the present moment. It's kind of a beautiful thing. You'll notice that as you're doing this and you're paying attention to what your body feels, it's really hard to think about anything else, right? So it's funny. I mean, it doesn't seem like we're meditating. There's no like struggle here to turn off your mind. But a lot of people, when they finish a resistance stretching class, are like, I feel so mindful. What happened? Like, why do I feel so zen right now? And it's basically because you are so aware of what's happening in your body at any given point that it's nearly impossible to think about anything else. Which is kind of beautiful, because right now it's really nice to not think about other things sometimes. So bring your right leg out to the side, your left leg over top, and you're going to resist like you're trying to pull both legs apart. Push your right leg up diagonally to the right, and then pull your heel down and to the left. So it's coming down this way towards the middle of your mat, up for strength, and down for stretch. And as you come down into that stretch, make a mental note of what you're feeling. Go as far as your body feels comfortable and come right back up. Down for your stretch, and up for strength. Remember to be resisting all the time. So don't just go relaxing into the stretch. Make sure that you're actually doing some work here. Up for strength and down for your stretch. Cool. Up for strength and down for stretch. All right. And now back to the wall. We're going to go back into medial hamstring stretch. So bring your right leg up. Grab your heel with your right hand. Let your knee open up 45 degrees to the side or whatever feels good to you. Kick your heel down for strength, engaging this inner hamstring and pulling up and away for your stretch. So you're pulling down for strength, and then it's like you're trying to get your toes to touch the wall, but you'll get to a certain point where you can't, obviously. You want to make sure that you're always engaging this hamstring so your knee will never completely straighten out. Kicking down for strength and up for stretch. You could use a rope with this one if it feels like you want to. I don't know why for me, but it feels really good to have my elbow against my shin, and I kind of push my elbow into my leg as I pull up. It feels good to me. I don't know how to describe that to you guys in any other way, but there's kind of this push-pull with my arm like this. Seems like an easier way for me to grab it. And let's do this last one, and then we'll move to the other side. So your left leg will come up, your knee out about 45 degrees to the side. Grab your heel with your left hand, kick it down for strength, and pull up for your stretch. And again, it's going to be out at an angle, maybe about 45 degrees or maybe less. It's okay. You kind of have like a 15-degree window to work through on either side. You could grab your big toe if it feels better. Sometimes that feels good to me. You can rotate as a little external if that feels good. See what works for you. So down for strength and up for stretch. Let's do one more. All right, and we're done with that set of legs, so go ahead and grab some water. Let me check the time. We're so good. All right. We're going to move back into our arm stretches now. I think, what do I want to work on here. Okay, let's go into a stretch for the front of your shoulders. Now you're going to actually go into a downward dog position. So your hands will be right under your shoulders and tuck your toes under. Now from here, what I want you to do is come up to a straight leg position, but don't put your heels on the ground yet, okay? My arms are still, my shoulders are right over my hands. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up with my toes just so that I come a little bit forward, but I'm not actually going into a plank position from here. Then I'm going to push my hands into the floor and push my heels down towards the mat while I push my forehead through, and then you come right back up. Up for strength, and then down for stretch to stretch out your calves. This is also a shoulder stretch when you come through here, and then you just go up and down. Up for strength, and down for your stretch. When you come up this way, you can look forward a little bit so that you get a little extension in your spine. And then when you come this way, bring your spine strong up towards the ceiling. Good, let's do this last one. Oh, so good. Okay, now we're going to go into a stretch for the back of your shoulders, so you'll rotate your cuff. So you can sit however you want. I just happen to like to sit this way. I want you to bring your hands together like you're, like a genie, like you're like, right? I wear my hair, especially in my genie position. So here we go. So my, I'll mirror here. So put your left hand on top, your right hand on the bottom. You're going to resist like you're trying to push your hand up into your elbow here. And this hand is trying to pull you this way. So if your hand slipped, you come into like a goalpost position, okay? So you want to find that resistance like this. Once you're in that position, then we're just going to go back and forth from one side to the other like a buzzsaw. So resisting like this. Then push open to the right, keeping your back straight, but letting your shoulders move. And then pull across to the left to stretch out the back of your right shoulder. And then you just go back and forth. So you're pulling to the right, this is strength training, and you're pulling to the left for your stretch. Feel it in the back of your shoulder, right? Right here. So you go back and forth. Now if you want, you can add a little bit of a figure eight. Now the figure eight that you want to make will start out like this. A very long and narrow figure eight. Can you see that okay? And then as you progress into the stretch, you can make that figure eight a little bit bigger and less wide, and then maybe eventually more like this, okay? So I'm not a great drawer, so just take it for what it is. But basically we're going to start off with a wide and narrow figure eight. So wide and narrow. And then drop a little lower and maybe go a little higher. And see if you can play around with that figure eight to see if you can make it more boxy, like taller and shorter, or you can stay in a long and wide. It doesn't matter. Or you go long and big, whatever works for you, right? But when you rotate like this, what you end up getting is a nice stretch through your rotator cuff here. This might be really intense for some people, so you don't have to do that much rotation. That's up to you. Okay, this is where you're allowed to play around with it yourself. Listen to your body, listen to what you're feeling. It should be right out here in the back of your shoulder. If you don't feel that, then make that move smaller or just skip the stretch. Okay, it's a fun one to play with. It took a long time for this to open up on me. This was one that, from being a pianist for so long, I was really tight through my rotator cuff and like kind of like locked up. So this stretch took a long time to open up. I mean, like maybe even a year before I actually was able to get full range of motion. But it took a while. So take your time, be gentle with yourself, work in the way that feels good to you. Okay, let's switch sides. So bring your left arm up, take your right arm over, grab your elbow with your right hand, push up with your left hand like you're making goalposts. And then we're just going to start off going left to right. No rotation at all. No figure eight. Just a straight line, back and forth. If you feel like that's good for you, if you can feel the back of your shoulder working on the left side, then you can start to dip down and come around to the figure eight. So strength is the down part, and stretch comes into this rotation. You can make your figure eight really wide and narrow, or you can make it a little bigger, depending on what you need. Make sure that most of this movement is coming from your shoulders and not from your spine. So you're not twisting and turning your body like this, but you're actually kind of locked through your torso as you move. And so just your shoulders are moving. In the back of your shoulder here, right? If you feel anything different, just stop or move in smaller ranges of motion. This should not be painful. So don't do anything that doesn't feel good, okay? Okay. Oh, I feel like I could do that stretch all day long. Just stay there. Just stay there forever. So good. Okay, let's move on to the top of our shoulders here. So you're going to bring your right arm into the side. Grab your grab your wrist with your left hand. You're going to try to pull your arms apart. Again, sit however you want. You do not have to sit on your knees. Push up for strength. Now, when I push up, this upper part of my arm is staying in line with my body, like if I was between two planes of glass, right? It's like it goes straight up. But I have my elbow bent so that I have a lever to hold on to, okay? So the motion is like if you were going straight out to the side. So you push up for strength. I'm fighting with my left arm. And then you push down for your stretch. When you get to the bottom, drag your ear over to the left, and you'll get a stretch through your neck as well. So it should be everything from the top of your shoulder up to your ear, maybe. And you just go up and down. Up for strength, and down for stretch, and your head to the side. You're going to find that tension. So a little nod might be helpful to see if you can find where you're the most tight. Up for strength, and down for stretch. Find that tension in the right place, and pull your head over to the left. Oh boy, that was a good one. Up for strength, and down for stretch, and find that stretch. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'll tell you guys, it's been so lovely to be able to stretch. When I teach class, I'm always up moving around. I do one stretch on one side and I skip the other side, but I haven't felt this balanced in so long. And I know that quarantine life is really quite a struggle for a lot of people, and it is a struggle for me, but oh my gosh, I feel so blessed to be able to have this time to really work on myself. I hope you guys are feeling the same way. It's such a beautiful time to be able to really nurture your health. I think it's the whole world is doing it. It's wonderful. So really take care of yourself. Okay, now bring your left arm in, grab your wrist with the other hand, push up for strength, and then down for stretch. Remember that your elbow should be pointing straight out to the side. Not a little bit in front, especially not pointing this way, but it should be pointing out to the side. And then when I bend my elbow at 90 degrees, my fingers are pushing straight forward. Okay? So you go up for strength and down for stretch. Everything's very boxy in this one. When you get to the bottom here, bring your head over to the right so that you can get this stretch through your neck. And again, you can kind of do a little nod to find where you're the most tight, and then just up and down. Up for strength and down for stretch. Your head to the right this time. Find the tension where it is. Be aware of what's happening in your body. Really feel what's happening in your muscles. Pay attention to what it's telling you. If it doesn't feel good, don't hang out there. If it wants you to stop at a certain point, stop there. Listen to what your body says. It knows best. People ask me a lot, how far up should I go? How far down should I go? And I cannot answer that question for you because that has to do with your own body. So if you had a frozen shoulder, you might be able to go this far, and that's it. And that's okay, right? Because eventually it's going to get a little bit bigger. And as we do other things, it's going to unlock. And then eventually your shoulder won't be frozen anymore. That's how it works. It's kind of amazing, actually. So up for strength and down for stretch, and bring your head to the right. Find that tension. So good. Okay. I know I say that on every stretch, but I believe it to be true. Oh, boy, okay. All right, so now we're going to do a stretch for your lats. So you want to stay in a seated position for this one. It's really nice to do this like this. So bring your left leg out open to the side and your right leg bent in so that your foot kind of like cradles in. It's almost like if you're doing yoga and you were in tree pose, it's kind of like that. So one leg's tucked into the side. Then take your right arm and just put it right in between your shoulder blades, if that feels good. It could also be like up to your head. You could just have your arm up, it doesn't matter. But you want to just get to a point where you can hold one side. So I'm going to hold my elbow with my left hand, and I'm pushing to the right with my right hand. Now from here, I'm going to try to pull my elbow towards this toe. It's not going to go all the way, it's okay. You just go as far as you want, but it's this feeling of a diagonal movement to the left, okay? So find your elbow here. Try to straighten your body up all the way. This is your strength training move, is to be like totally straight. And then use your left arm to pull you into this side bend. And then pull back up for strength. Oh, yay. Happiness. So good. Up for strength and over for stretch. Take a second to listen to your body and see what it's telling you. If this is too intense in your hamstring here, it's okay. You can sit like this. You don't have to bring that leg out to the side. You do what you want. Your body. Oh, Skitty. Skitty just made an appearance, you guys. But she went right into the kitchen to eat breakfast. So maybe you guys will get to see her in a little bit. Skitty's my cat. Oh, good stretch right here through the right. Okay, now let's go ahead and switch sides. So bring your left leg in, your right leg out to the side, or sit however you want. Bring your left arm up and grab your elbow with your other hand. Now you're going to try to sit up as tall as you can and then pull over this time to the right and then up for strength. So your body's like, I want to stay up. And your right arm is like, no, I want you to be down there. Okay, so your right arm is always pulling towards your right foot. And your left arm is always trying to keep you up. Whew. You should feel this on the left side of your body, all through here. If you're feeling hamstring, if you're feeling your hip, if it doesn't feel good, just switch your legs. Just sit a different way. You could even sit in a chair and still get the same results in the stretch. We're looking for a lat stretch, like through the side of your body, right here. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Up for strength and down for stretch. Oh, boy. Oh. Lovely. So good. Okay, now let's go back into our stretch, like the downward dog stretch. So we're going to come onto all fours again. Tuck your toes. Come up to straight legs. Push up with your heels until your face is right over your fingertips, and then push with your arms to bring your feet towards the floor and tuck your chin. Up for strength. Looking forward towards the front of your mat, and then use your arms to push you back. And now try to look through your legs and push your head through. That's going to stretch out the front of your shoulders, but if you're really focusing on your calves, you'll feel those the most. You just go back and forth. Up for strength, and pull through for your stretch. Bring your head through. Nice. Hopefully you got a little more gains that way, or felt a little bit better in your calves. Maybe you were even able to access the stretch through your top, the front of your shoulders here. That'd be beautiful. Now it's time to work on the back of your shoulders. So we're going to go back into our rotator cuff stretch. Bring your right arm up. Grab your elbow with your left hand. You can start by resisting, like you're trying to make goalposts, and then go to the side and to the other side. And when you're ready to start drawing a figure eight with your elbows, go for it. Do what feels the best for you. This is strength training when you come to the right, and your stretch when you pull to the left. But don't force this rotation. Just do what feels good. Listen to your body. Remember that this is a time for you to take care of yourself, not to torture yourself. So if any of these stretches feel like torture, then you're not doing yourself the right service, right? Do what feels good. And if it doesn't feel good, if any stretch feels like torture to you, it's okay to take a break and just not do that one, because you just keep coming back and try it again later, right? Try the stretch tomorrow, see what it feels like. It might be completely different. Your body changes and adapts when you do this type of work. So nice. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Bring your left arm up, grab your elbow with your left hand and try to pull both arms apart, even into like goalposts if you can. You'll open for stretch. To the left for strength. I'm getting distracted because Skitty just came into the room. Come here, Bubba. Come on. Come right here. Oh, it's a big stretch for you, huh? She's old and her hips hurt. Okay, so for one side to strength and then stretches the other way. So go back and forth. Open for strength and close for stretch. Now remember, you don't have to do a big figure eight here. You can do a smaller figure eight. Or you can just go back and forth. Okay, see you later. That's all she's got. She's like, I'm done. This is nap time. Oh, back and forth. Suri is actually the other cat who made a huge appearance the other day. She sat right in front of the camera while I was stretching. And one of my students, who's super funny, put a post up of a picture of her and it said, sit for strength and sit for stretch. She's got it figured out. Right now it's like sleep and sleep. She's on the chair. All right, now let's move on into the stretch top of your shoulders and neck. So bring your right arm into the side, your wrist with your left hand, and try to pull both elbows apart, straight out to the outside walls. So you'll push up to the right, and then use your left hand to push you down, and your head will go to the opposite side. You can just nod forward and back to see if you can find a deeper stretch. But remember that it should always feel good, so don't do anything that doesn't feel good, okay? Up for strength and down for stretch. Your head to the side. Up for strength, down for stretch, and your head to the side. Then a little nod to get a little deeper into your neck. And then bring your left arm into the side and grab your wrist with your right hand, and we'll clean this one up. Up for strength, down for stretch, and your head to the opposite side, this time to the right. A little nod to get a little more tension out if it feels like it wants to. Up for strength and down for stretch. Then pull your head over to the right. You should feel this all through here. Take note of what you feel, make sure it feels good. And you just go back and forth. I feel like this one gets right into the top of my jaw too, and around my ear here, which I can get really tight on this side. So to stretch out the fascia, wiggle your fingers, keep like jazz hands. You can yawn a little bit. To open up, you just kind of want to find how you can release tension in whatever way feels good to you. So feel free to play around with that a little bit. Sometimes we make really ugly faces in this class. That's kind of how it goes. Okay, now we're going to go back into our lat stretch. So bring your left leg out to the side. Your right leg will tuck in. You can grab your elbow with your opposite hand here. And you're going to push up for strength and then pull across to the left for your stretch. And then up for strength and down for stretch. Now if you want to take this a step further, you can, I'll show you. You can either stay right here or bend your leg, take your left arm and drop it down so that your palm is facing up and your forearm is resting against your upper thigh. So here's where your resistance will be. You can grab your foot with your right hand if you feel like it. If this is impossible for you, just go right back to where we were before. You can just go right to here, okay? Put your hand on your head and you're going to do the same motion, but there'll be a little bit of a twist to it. So you can twist down towards the floor with your elbow and then twist up and towards your right leg for your stretch. So down for strength and over your left foot for stretch. Down for strength and up for stretch. I absolutely love this stretch. Now, if you to add a little fascia to it, take your hand off your head, pull deep into your stretch, make your jazz hands, and reach over to the left. Wiggle your fingers a bit. You're going to get a really deep stretch to the whole side of your body. Oh, wow, okay. After that one, we're done. All right, we're going to do the other side now, though. So bring your right leg out to the side, tuck your knee in, bring your left arm up over your head and grab your elbow here. You can pull up for strength and then pull over your right foot for your stretch. And then up for strength and down for stretch. Now, if you want to take this a step further, you can bend your knee, turn your right arm over so that your palm is facing up. Your upper arm rests against your upper thigh. Grab your foot. Okay? It's a little tricky. From here, resist against your knee and your upper arm. So they're like pushing against each other. Put your hand on your head. Now, what you're going to do is pull down towards the floor and towards your left knee. And then I actually am using my right arm to pull me over. And down for strength. And up and over for your stretch. You can get a little further out with your leg if that feels good. A little twist here down towards the floor. And then your elbow up towards the ceiling and over. You're trying to pull your torso, your rib cage away from your hips. Okay? Whew. And then if you want to add the fascia to it, make your hands into jazz hands and slowly reach over. Wiggle your fingers if it feels good. Holy cow. Oh. And then up for, I don't know what for, to be done, right? Just go right on up. I love that stretch. It actually gives me this huge sense of like bliss and peace. We call it the La La Land stretch. So welcome to La La Land. Right? All right, friends, that's all I've got for today. Be sure to leave me a comment to let me know if you did this class so that I can feel connected to you guys because it's very important for me right now. Like this video if you like it. If you are enjoying these, please tell your friends. I'm trying to build up this channel. It's something that I'm going to have to do because my studio right now is just collecting dust and there's not much I can do about that. So I'm here. I'm giving these classes away just for my own well-being and for you guys, for your well-being. If you are in a position where you're able to contribute to this channel, just look down in the link below and there's a link to my PayPal account. Feel free to make a contribution of any amount if you are able. If you're not able, that's great too. Just don't pay, right? Just find a different way to contribute in some way, either by just saying hi and letting me know that you're here and that you're getting something out of this, or by telling your friends. That is like one of the best ways that you can really spread the word, okay? And contribute to me in the best way possible right now is helping me to get this channel growing. All right, check in tomorrow because I'll have live class again at 11, and every other day it's like 11 or 9 with Sundays off. And also, Life Renovations course tomorrow is a guided journaling, or not guided journaling, we did that yesterday. Tomorrow is a meditation, and it's pretty awesome. I think you'll really like it. So make sure you check those out. All right, my friends, have a great day. Try to find some hope and peace today and connect with people you love. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.